Ho, ho! This corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! This corporate greed has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho!
Okay, the American public's not aware how many repeat tours of duty that our soldiers are going through. They're going back more than 4 or 5 times, repeat duty, come home with their families less than a year. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's speaking up for our soldiers. On Fort Campbell, they're walking around with no limbs, psychological distress. What are we, the American people, willing to do? It's a money game. It needs to be stopped. Let's take a stand for our soldiers. They can't speak up on this, but we can. Let's get together for the boys and the men and women that are coming back invalids and psychologically invalid and can't work and couldn't find a job if they came back today. America, wake up, wake up.
Check, 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 check. All right, so guys, this is how the can you hold it up a little more? This is how the General Assembly basically works. There are going to be, there's going to be a process that we follow. It begins with a welcome introduction, which you've kind of already gotten. Usually that's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, which we will introduce the facilitators. Right now, I'm going to be a facilitator. Are there any other facilitators that were here on Saturday who had agreed to facilitate today?
Yep.
Here's one. Okay, we're going to need your help, Zach. So, following the welcome, we generally have just a few quick announcements, just any news. If there are any unions down here who are doing anything that they would like to announce to the crowd, that would be the time that they would step to the mic. Then we will be having working group check-ins and then an agenda. The working group check-ins, we have different working groups, like we have media PR, we have tech group, we have a food group, we have a sanitation group, etc., etc. After we have the General Assembly, we'll probably break into working groups, and everybody here can pick a working group to associate with. You're allowed to work with more than one, but in the beginning it's probably easiest to just start off with one. The agenda is when we go over proposals. So working groups will send somebody up to give their proposal, and we will vote on it as a group. It's a consensus process. So what that essentially means is everybody agrees on it, or we don't do it. There is something called blocking, which I'll get to once I'm explaining the hand signals, that sort of changes that whole thing. Then we'll have a closing. We'll just see what everybody felt about the meeting, and et cetera, et cetera. Zach, where's Zach?
Yeah.
You wanna go over the hands?
Sure. I got it. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? How's everybody feeling? Good. Good. One of the beautiful things about this movement is that everybody has a voice, but it's very important that when something is happening, when someone is speaking, that people are paying attention and people are responding. Democracy is not a one-way street. Democracy is not a one-way street. I just want to go over a few things so that everyone can be involved in this process. This is participatory democracy. This is exactly what our country is supposed to be all about. Yeah. If you hear something that you agree with, put a thumbs up. Big thumbs up. Is everyone okay with this? There we go. If there's something that you don't necessarily identify with, that you don't agree with, put a big thumbs down. We don't like big banks taking advantage of us, right? Thumbs down. If there's something that you want to be kind of in the middle about, you're not sure, you want some more explanation, just put it halfway. Halfway. Those are the 3 basic signals. This is not a top-down movement, okay? So I want to make sure that everyone understands that that's the process that we're going to be following.
Right, and then there's the bigger triangle.
Oh.
Report a process.
Okay, there's 2 more things. I want everyone to just pay attention. We have a procedure we're following. It's not parliamentary, it's not a corporate boardroom, but in order for any popular movement to have some success, there needs to be organization, am I right? Yes? Okay, so I'm going to have Jacob demonstrate. If there is, as we're speaking, if we're getting off topic, just hold up a triangle with your hands.
It's called a point of process.
It's called a point of process. We have to keep things organized.
Going to be blocking. Yeah, we can. Let's go with the point of information. Okay.
If you're confused.
No. It's it's like if we make an announcement.
I'm confused apparently.
If we make an announcement, like say, we just heard 30 people got arrested on Wall Street, and you just got an update that there was actually 35 people arrested or 50 people arrested, you one finger up in the air, and it's called a point of information. Point of information. Does everybody understand that? And then we have the hand roll. You want to demonstrate the hand roll? Sure. Yeah. The hand roll just means that whoever's speaking, it's sort of a nice way of saying, yeah, we get your point, you're going on too long, just wrap it up.
I don't like what we're doing now.
Disagrees so strongly with what's being proposed, with what's being said, they do a block, which is arms crossed, and this is supposed to be used very, very sparingly. Like literally, you're going to leave the group.
An example of this is a movement that's based on tolerance for each other. And there are a few ground rules that I think we all need to follow. Among those is, I strongly believe that if anyone is saying racist, sexist things, that is the time to use the block. So just keep that in mind. There.
And so the way the block works, when somebody puts up a block, we allow them to address their concerns, and we can go into a process of friendly amendments to the proposal where we'll try to make it so that they can feel a little bit more comfortable with what it is that's being proposed. To sustain a block, however, if they're still not happy with it, we'll take a vote and we'll use the hand signals, and if it seems like 10% agree with the block, then we will scrap it, because we really are concerned about making sure everybody has a voice. So that's basically hand signals. I'll go over the facilitator roles. You can always use more. Yeah, come on. So they basically keep the flow of the General Assembly going, maintain the process, derail
citizens to stand up for what we believe on. The dreams of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness has been a dwindling memory. And we need to stand up and fight against these corporate money-grubbing pigs, okay? And I just wanted to let you know that I very much appreciate everybody being here and standing up and letting their voices be heard. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name's Chris. I'm with the tech group. I was here Saturday. I'm not going to be able to stay for long, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for coming out. And there's been a lot in the media, what little media coverage we do get, saying that we don't have a clear message, and who are these guys, what do they want? And really, I think that the answer to that is more simple than anyone wants to make it. We were here on Saturday, and we're here again today, and we've got all kinds of people here. I know last Saturday we had Republicans here, we had Democrats here, we had libertarians here, we had socialists here, we had a ton of people with one common thread. We were absolutely sick and tired of not having a voice. Or jobs. We have a system right here that that panders to our 1%. And when we talk about 99%, we're not kidding. It's everybody is involved in this. So we all have our voice, so let's make ourselves heard.
Hi everybody, my name's Matt, I'm a Teamster. And I would like to take this opportunity to introduce one of our leaders from the Teamsters, the International Vice President at Large for the Teamsters, Mr. Al Mixon.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, brothers and sisters, for being here for all the right reasons. I'm looking at that 99%. Whatever the real percent of it all is, simply put in easy math, is more of us than it is of them. The problem is, I tell you, when I was growing up, I thought I could play some sports here and there, and lo and behold, I became a union official, and I really, they're stepping it up for the middle class, which is the base of this country. We have to get back to the basics. But the point I wanted to make to you regarding some of the things that I recognized very early on, and running track and doing those types of things, I always just called that being in the race. I didn't know it was in a race for the bottom, okay, based on what corporate America is doing. And in addition to that, when we talk about our 99%, getting back to the basics is easy math. We have more things in common than we do apart. And the point I'm making to connect all those dots is we are part of one race. And that one race, brothers and sisters, is the human race. So this corporate greed, this right-wing thinking on the things that continue to try to disconnect us from the real American goals, American dreams, real jobs, real benefits. The backbone of this country is us, real people, and we just can't lose sight of what needs to happen. I'm like the gentleman that spoke a little bit before me. I'm not anti the Obama administration. They're putting roadblocks to stop the direction this president wants to go. This is what happened. In November of 2010, these guys, these right-wingers did not win an election. We lost it because we sat on our asses. Okay, we cannot afford to take these things lightly, and what's got to happen on November 8th this year in order to defeat that bill that's now issue 2 and the House Bill 194. There's voter suppression that's trying to minimize another 20 or 30% of people from having the opportunity to vote. They cannot continue to put profit in front of people. Okay, they cannot. Here, you give us an opportunity for jobs. This country, the greatest country there is on the face of the earth, we produce better, we manufacture better, we deliver better. We just got to get better at getting back to the basics of being American, and there's more of us than them. Let's get out the vote, and let's do what we got to do to turn this country around. Thank you.